Hello and welcome back to another video. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Justyna. Welcome to my channel. Here I talk about mainly astrology and self-growth related topics. If you are a returning viewer or listener, welcome back and thank you for joining me today. So here today I'm going to talk about the full moon in Scorpio happening on the 12th of May at 22 degrees of Scorpio. So here in the first part of this video, I will discuss the general influence of this full moon, and then I will move into the forecast for each rising sign. So thank you very much, and let's begin. All right, so a full moon happening on the 12th of May at 22 degrees of Scorpio. What is a full moon? First of all, a full moon occurs when the sun and the moon are in the opposing signs, so we've got an exact opposition. This is a time of culmination, major breakthroughs. This is when clarity returns. So here, if your birthday falls on the 12th of May, happy birthday. When our birthday falls on a full moon, very often we deal with endings, conclusions, as you prepare for a brand new chapter to begin emerge in your life. Now, the 22nd degree of Scorpio, that's the third decan. So here with this full moon falling in the third decan of Scorpio, this energy is associated with emotional complexity, hidden motivations, but also deep healing. It's intensifying Scorpio's innate focus on intimacy, desire, and emotional power. This is the part of Scorpio that doesn't just feel, it transforms. It understands that to truly move on, we often need to grieve, purge, and reclaim parts of ourselves we have left in the shadows. This full moon is conjunct the fixed star Unukalhai, located in the constellation the Serpent. This fixed star carries themes of spiritual healing and poison, which might sound contradictory, but that's exactly the point. Unukalhai reminds us that what harms us can also be what heals us, depending on how we integrate it. So this full moon might bring up some emotional energy, old betrayals, deep fears, hidden obsessions, but only so we can transmute them into wisdom and empowerment. Now, Uranus in Taurus is closely aligned with the Sun in opposition to this full moon. Uranus is the planet of liberation, disruption, but also innovation. So here, expect emotional curveballs, unexpected changes in relationships, financial matters, or perhaps some major turning points, breakthroughs around security and trust. This is the kind of energy that rattles the comfort zone so that we can grow beyond it. If something gets shaken loose, we need to trust that it's happening to free us from stagnation. Uranus doesn't ask for permission. It delivers the truth in sometimes a shocking, unexpected way. Scorpio has got two rulers, Pluto and Mars. Pluto, the modern ruler, and Mars is the traditional ruler. Both are actively shaping this full moon. Pluto is currently retrograde in Aquarius. This gives the full moon a reflective psychological depth. And it's also asking, where have we given our power away to systems, groups, ideals that no longer serve our evolution? Mars, on the other hand, the traditional ruler, is in the sign of Leo. This adds more dramatic flavor. It pushes us to act, to create, to be seen. But the challenge here is doing this without slipping into pride or control. There might be tension between our desire for visibility, that's Leo, and the need to maintain emotional privacy or integrity, that's Scorpio. All right, so this is what I've got for you about this full moon, a little overview. Now let's see how this full moon will influence our lives on a deeper level. So here, this horoscope is most accurate for your rising sign. However, you can also watch it for your moon sign or your sun sign if you wish. So thank you very much, and let's begin. Hello Aries, and welcome to your full moon in Scorpio horoscope. This full moon lights up your 8th house of transformation, shared resources, intimacy, and psychological depth. It's not surface level. This is about what's buried, hidden, and ready to be released. You may feel emotionally raw or exposed. Something could come to light in a close relationship, a power imbalance, or perhaps a secret or a truth you can no longer avoid. If you are financially connected to someone through loans, investments, work, partnership, business partnership, joint assets, this lunation might bring a shift or ending that leads to greater clarity. Trust your instincts during this time. Now, with Uranus opposing the full moon in Scorpio, expect the unexpected, especially around themes connected to money, values, but also emotional commitments. Something might feel like it's being shaken loose, but it's only so you can reclaim your power. Let go of any attachments that keep you stuck in fear or guilt or emotional dependency. Your ruling planet Mars is in the sign of Leo at the time of this full moon, fueling, boosting your creativity, confidence. However, don't let pride block you, especially from vulnerability. Because real transformation, real intimacy requires courage, not just bold action, but the courage to be seen. Thank you. Taurus, welcome. Welcome to your full moon in Scorpio horoscope. This full moon falls in your seventh house of relationships, partnerships, contracts, bringing a spotlight to commitments and one-to-one dynamics. Something in your relational world is coming to a head, coming to light, coming to the surface, whether it's an ending or a revelation or a deep emotional turning point. Whatever the scenario, you are being asked to look closely at how power, trust, and emotional intensity show up in your closest connections, relationships, bonds. Are you clinging to a connection out of fear? Or perhaps are you avoiding confrontation to keep the peace? The full moon in Scorpio will not let you stay on the surface. It demands honesty, even if it's uncomfortable. With Uranus in your sign, in your first house, opposing this full moon, you might be feeling this really strong urge for freedom, authenticity, and change. But emotional liberation doesn't always look pretty. It might come through tension, disruption, or perhaps the need to break free of a pattern that you have outgrown, that has fulfilled its purpose. Your relationships may also shift under this full moon, but it's not about loss for the sake of drama. It's about choosing truth over illusion, even if it challenges your need for stability. So try to let go of what's draining your energy. This full moon wants you to protect your peace, your inner peace, not just your comfort. Thank you. All right, so hello Geminis and welcome to your full moon in Scorpio horoscope. This full moon illuminates your sixth house of daily routines, health and work, but also your relationship to service. So here it's a moment of realization, especially around how your everyday life supports or perhaps drains your energy. Something you've been pushing through may reach a breaking point at this time during this full moon. Perhaps burnout, emotional exhaustion, or perhaps the quiet resentment that builds when you're always on, when you're always moving, when you're always taking action. This is your invitation to clear out what's no longer sustainable, what no longer belongs in your reality. With Uranus stirring your subconscious, the hidden aspects of your life in your 12th house, unexpected breakthroughs, insights may come through dreams, intuitive downloads, or perhaps even a sudden physical reaction. Perhaps your body could be speaking louder than your words. So here, pay attention to any signs. Perhaps it's time to restructure your schedule, your daily life, your habits, or perhaps the people you pour your energy into. Overall, this lunation could also reveal some emotional patterns around overworking, perfectionism, or control, especially if you're trying to manage everything on your own. It's okay to ask for help. It's okay to slow down. Thank you. All right, so let's have a look at Cancers. Cancers, welcome. This full moon activates your 5th house, so the area of creativity, romance, self-expression, children, and joy. But with Scorpio involved, joy doesn't come from surface level pleasures. It comes from going deeper, from being honest about what your heart truly wants, what your heart truly craves. You might be facing a moment of truth around this time, especially in the area of love, romance, creative path, energy. Perhaps a relationship that you've been involved in could reach a turning point, or perhaps a certain project might demand more vulnerability, more commitment than you're used to. This lunation doesn't want you to play small. It wants your full attention. It wants your full presence. The real you, the unapologetic you. With Uranus in Taurus shaking up your 11th house of community and future vision, there might be some unexpected shifts happening in your friendship circle that may challenge your current goals, objectives for the future. Maybe you have outgrown certain dynamics, certain connections. Perhaps you're realizing that your desires are changing too. Generally, don't be afraid to admit that what once felt fulfilling now might feel empty. This is your moment to reclaim your voice, your need for joy, pleasure, but from a place of that deeper side of your essence, from a place of deep emotional truth overall. Thank you. All right, so Leos, welcome. Leos, welcome to your full moon in Scorpio horoscope. This full moon lands in your 4th house. It illuminates your inner world. It illuminates your area of home, family, roots, emotional security and safety. Something close to your heart might be surfacing now, perhaps a connection from the past, perhaps something connected to your upbringing, or perhaps a pattern that's been quietly shaping your emotional responses. This is a powerful time to reflect on what home truly means to you and where you may still be carrying emotional baggage that no longer belongs in your present life. Now, a family situation could also reach a point of tension or clarity. Perhaps you might feel stimulated. You might have this really strong need to set healthy boundaries, to release certain energies connected to guilt, or perhaps you might want to even detach from some old dynamics that keep you emotionally stuck. With Uranus shaking up your 10th house of career and public identity, the push and pull between your private and the public self is real at this time. You might be juggling some shifts in your life, changes, transformations, while at the same time dealing with sudden changes, disruptions in your professional world. It's not about choosing one over the other. It's about aligning both with your inner truth. Your ruler, the sun, is in the grounded sign of Taurus, and this energy can help you create new foundations in your life, ones that are built not on expectation but on emotional safety and security. Thank you. Now, Virgos, welcome. The full moon in Scorpio activates your 3rd house. The 3rd house deals with themes connected to communication, mindset, siblings, learning, but also your immediate environment. Something is shifting in how you speak, in how you think, in how you connect. Perhaps a conversation could, from the past, something that has been an ongoing thing, could reach a boiling point, or perhaps this could be about a realization that may strike, one that changes the way you view a particular situation or relationship. Scorpio energy here wants depth, transformation, intensity, not small talk. And if you have been biting your tongue or perhaps suppressing your truth, your opinions, or perhaps holding back out of politeness or fear of conflict, this full moon may bring a moment where the words just come out. Perhaps they need to. With Uranus in your ninth house, expect your beliefs, your worldviews, maybe even travel or educational plans to reach an important turning point. Perhaps you might suddenly see things from a different light, from a new liberating angle. And once you do, there is no going back. This is about letting go of rigid thinking and making space for ideas that truly resonate with your growth. Your ruling planet Mercury is now in Taurus, and it is helping you process and integrate everything you've been rethinking lately, especially during the retrograde period during March and April. Thank you. Now, Libras, welcome. This full moon illuminates your second house, the area of money, self-worth, values, and what you rely on for stability. It's not just about your bank account, it's about the deeper emotional patterns connected to your sense of security, your sense of value. So generally something you've been holding on to, perhaps a belief or a belief about your worth, or perhaps a financial entanglement or an external validation is generally ready to be released. If it feels like you're being pushed to your edge around this time, especially around matters connected to money or self-esteem, and this full moon is probably trying to show you where your power truly is. Within you, not outside you or outside of you. Now, with Uranus shaking up your 8th house, this could be connected to some unexpected changes in the area of shared resources, intimacy, emotional energies that might arise around this time. Perhaps a financial or emotional dependency could shift abruptly, but this disruption is designed to set you free from fear, from scarcity, from rigid thinking, or from anything that's been quietly draining your energy. Venus, your ruling planet, wants beauty and balance, but this full moon, in a way, teaches you that real balance comes after deep honesty. So now think, where are you undervaluing yourself? Where are you giving too much for too little in return? Thank you. Now, Scorpios, welcome. This full moon is activating your first house, the house of identity, the house of the self, personal power. This is a moment of deep emotional culmination. The spotlight is on you, your desires, your truth, and the version of yourself that's ready to re-emerge or emerge. Something you've been carrying, perhaps silently for a long time, is now ready to be released. You might feel perhaps exposed or even on edge, but this intensity generally isn't here to push you. It's here to purge what no longer belongs to your story. Now, with Uranus opposing this full moon, your 7th house of relationship dynamics might be triggered. It may trigger actually your transformation. Perhaps your partner's actions or the lack of support might be shaking up your sense of identity. But these disruptions are showing you, or will be showing you, what kind of connections are truly aligned with who you are becoming. Now, your modern ruler Pluto is retrograde in Aquarius, digging deep into your foundations, while your traditional ruler Mars is in the sign of Leo, activating your public image, your ambitions. So there's a lot moving behind the scenes, it looks like, but also on the surface. And this energy, this full moon, wants you to reclaim your power without needing to control everything. Thank you. Now, Sagittarius, welcome. This full moon activates your 12th house. So here, the area of the unconscious, the area of endings, solitude, healing, surrender. It's a deeply spiritual, inward-facing lunation for you. You might feel more sensitive, more tired around this time, more emotionally vulnerable. That's not weakness. It's your soul asking for quiet time so that you can reflect, contemplate, heal, think things through. This is a time to release what you've been carrying silently. Guilt, grief, hidden fears, or maybe even mental blockages that have been running in the background. You might experience some really powerful dreams or moments of emotional clarity that feel like major breakthroughs. Try not to dismiss them. Instead, let them move through you. It can be a really healing and transformative full moon in many ways. With Uranus shaking up your sixth house of work, health, there might be some unexpected changes in your routine, or maybe even a wake-up call from your body. If this is the case, then your body is trying to remind you that your physical and mental health are connected, interconnected. So here, try to prioritize rest during this time. Remember about setting healthy boundaries, setting and maintaining healthy boundaries as well. And your ruling planet Jupiter is expanding your relationship zone, which could bring some deep realizations about how your connections mirror back the parts of you've kept hidden. Overall, this full moon is about deep soul detox, letting go of what no one sees, but what you have always felt. Thank you. Now, Capricorns, welcome. This full moon lights up your 11th house, the area of friendships, community, long-term goals, but also your greater vision for the future. A chapter in your social life might be coming to an end, or you could experience a really powerful realization about the kind of people and purpose you truly want to build your life around. If you have outgrown certain groups or goals, let them go with grace. You're generally stepping into a new phase of alignment in many, many ways. And that means being honest about where your energy is no longer being matched, or where your hopes and dreams have changed. With Uranus shaking up your 5th house of joy, creativity, and self-expression, this energy is reminding you that your future needs to include passion, but also authenticity. This is not just about strategy. It's about soul alignment. A creative breakthrough, a romantic shift, or perhaps even an unexpected opportunity to show your talents and skills may appear quite out of the blue under the influence of Uranus. Pluto is retrograde in Aquarius in your 2nd house, deeply reviewing, reassessing your self-worth, but also your values. And Mars in Leo is stirring your 8th house, spotlighting trust, intimacy, and emotional investments. And this energy suggests that what you want long-term now in your life must be emotionally sustainable. Thank you. Aquarius, welcome. This full moon activates your 10th house. So here your career, public image, public reputation is highlighted. Something might be reaching an important breaking point in your professional life. It may come with really high emotions, breakthroughs, revelations, or perhaps a deep inner shift around what success truly means to you. You might be seen in a new light by others, either through recognition or perhaps a work-related opportunity, or even through a moment that reveals where you've outgrown your current role or path. Whatever surfaces at this time, this energy, this full moon is asking for authenticity. This full moon might make you question your career choices, whether you're fulfilled with the direction that you're heading, or whether something needs to change. With Uranus in Taurus in your 4th house, that's the modern ruler of your sign, of course, as well. Here, the 4th house is connected to home and emotional security. This is a powerful indication of change. You might feel really pulled between your public life and your private needs. On a different level, a home or a family-related situation could influence your career direction at this time. Now, at the same time, Pluto is retrograde in your first house of Aquarius, and this also indicates a certain degree of a transformation of your identity, of how you relate to power, of how you relate to others. Mars in Leo activates your relationship zone, the 7th house. So some connections at this point might be challenging your path, while others might offer surprising support. So here overall with this full moon, you need to think carefully and ask yourself whether the life that you're building now reflects your inner needs, goals, and desires, or perhaps are you chasing someone else's definition of success? Thank you. Now, Pisces, welcome. This full moon activates your 9th house, the area of higher knowledge, beliefs, spiritual growth, travel, education, publishing. Generally, this full moon is shining a light on your worldview, but it also wants you to think carefully. What have you outgrown in your life? What do you need to let go of during this full moon or following this full moon? You might experience a really powerful emotional or perhaps spiritual turning point, revelation, for example, perhaps influenced, sparked by a teacher, mentor, a piece of writing, or even a personal situation, a personal breakthrough. If you have been questioning your path, your direction, or perhaps if you've been struggling with the meaning of your life, the meaning of your purpose, this full moon could bring the clarity you've been looking for. With Uranus in your 3rd house activated at this time, your mind will be very active with new insights, perhaps some unconventional, unique, original ideas. This could also indicate sudden conversations or unexpected news, or perhaps some changes in your local environment. So overall, this is a full moon. Overall here, write things down. Write things down because you might have some really interesting ideas around this time. And of course, Mars is in Leo at this time, energizing your 6th house of work and wellness, while Pluto is retrograde in your 12th house, pulling any subconscious hidden matters, hidden patterns to the surface. This is a really intense mix of energies connected to letting go, but also leveling up. So here, this full moon is generally clearing space for something deeper to emerge in your life, for deeper integrity in how you live, in how you work, and how you think. And you might find yourself redefining your life philosophy, moving away from the beliefs that no longer resonate. Thank you.